Speaking of racism, do we want to talk about this Rochester story?
I mean, I know you're these details are a little bit too much for me to remember off the top of my head. So you're going to have to take the lead on this, but it sounds funny as hell.
So, well, I mean, it's incredible. So this is an article from a Rochester newspaper. Juneteenth parody party couple digs in to defend themselves. And it's this couple in Rochester, Mary Zidnarski Nicosa and Dr. Nicholas Nicosia, at a news conference on August 23rd that they said was intended to defend themselves against allegations of racism to restore their reputations. Now, Bradley, could you find we have a clip here. So basically they had this party and it was racist, and they tried to deny it was racist, and some subsequent information came out that makes that denial very suspect. Here is a firefighter, I believe it was like a 14-year vet, who was forced to go. He was on duty and was forced to go to this party, and he's suing the.
So it's a huge party, right? So these guys are really wealthy, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they're philanthropists.
Yeah, and they're like a known quantity in the city, and basically, I think through the city, like this firefighter was like forced to attend this Juneteenth themed party hosted by a white couple in upstate,
where there was like a bunch of KFC buckets and Hennessy, all things they denied, tried denying were racist. But let's just play this clip here.
I was born and raised in Rochester. I love the town. I'm from the west side. It means a lot to me when I put that uniform on, and I've always wanted to represent my city in the correct manner, in a decent manner, honorable manner. And what I had to experience a month ago, it cut me very deeply. I'm sorry to even have to be here today, but in order for things to change, we have to do difficult things. And one of those difficult things is speaking up against a department that you love with everything within. And sometimes some of your brothers may be collateral damage, but I decided to speak up today because I have two children that maybe one day will aspire to be firefighters, and I don't want them to have to experience what I experienced. I wouldn't want your kids to have to experience that. There's a lot of young people that are on the job today because of me, and they look up to me. So I felt obligated to do the right thing and speak up. Traditionally, in the firehouse, we handle things like a family does in-house. Things don't make it out to the public eye. But every once in a while, something happens that can't be handled in-house. This is one of those things. This is one of those times. And as terribly as I feel, I'm glad it happened to me and not somebody that could be easily intimidated. So
hell yeah.
Today, I hope is the last time we'll have to address an issue like this in the Rochester Fire Department, a department that I love very deeply.
So yeah, the tact was for these Marys Narsik Nicosia and Dr. Nicholas Nicosia that they were going to book a sort of conference room at the Hilton Garden in Pittsburgh and deny that this was actually racist. So if you can bring that article up, Bradley, but I'll just read from it because the wife of a prominent Rochester couple, that's a weird sentence.
So they're philanthropists, aka tax dodgers. That's
exactly,
what that means.
Yeah. Accused of hosting a racist Juneteenth parody party at their East Avenue home, acknowledged Tuesday that she ran a Twitter account notorious for its racist posts. So they're trying to do a conference where they denied that it was racist, and we'll do some quotes from the defense attorney in a little bit here that are very funny with what comes out. So basically what happened is Zignari, I can't pronounce that name, Nicosia admitted that she was behind a social media account during a news conference that she and her husband, Dr. Nicholas Nicosia, and their lawyer staged at the Hilton Garden Inn in Pittsburgh. They said the event was intended to clear their names and to restore their reputations. While she did not refer to the account by name, even when pressed by reporters, she acknowledged that one of the profile photos used in the account was hers. The image was a bust of Smiling Sam from Alabama, the salted peanut man, a black character piggy bank that Zidnarsik Nicosia said was on display in her home. I mean, basically like Sambo style minstrelsy stuff for folks who aren't watching. The account, which went by the handle Ho Ho Homeboy ROC and operated under a variety of usernames, including Colonel Nathaniel Sanders, had been active since November 2021 and routinely trolled Black people, elected officials, and journalists, often in a voice that mimicked Black vernacular English. Social media sleuths have begun attributing the account to Nicosia about 2 weeks after a Rochester firefighter announced his intention to sue the city and the fire department for being made to attend a gathering hosted by Nicosia on July 7th. The firefighter, Jared Jones, who's Black, alleged that the racist overtones permeated the party, which included a menu of Kentucky Fried Chicken, the presence of Hennessy Cognac, and Juneteenth-themed signs and party favors. He was taken to the party by his captain while they were on duty. The captain, Jeffrey Crewery, has since resigned.
Like literally forced to attend this party. Like
so I was confused as to why he was there, and it was because his boss made him go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this, the city made him go. Also, I just want to, I don't want to be too, I don't want to, like, this is just what, like, this white woman was literally tweeting at a person saying something called, "What them council folks been eating? Lottie, look at them.
Yeah.
Days big as barns." even that hand lady, ... Like, this is like literally minstrelsy for the 21st century.
Excited to see how they wriggle out of this one. This is
you're gonna love this.
I just can't. I just can't stop picturing the party scene from Sorry to Bother You, where like he's forced to like rap in front of that like entirely white crowd, and it's just like, yeah, you don't want to be the only Black person at an all-white Juneteenth party, regardless of the politics of the host. That's just going to be a bad time.
In the ensuing days, Zignarsik Nicosia denied being associated with the account. In a brief interview with City last week, the account was deactivated later the same day. But on Tuesday, she revealed her online identity before a room full of reporters at the behest of her lawyer. "I do have a Twitter parody account that operates under a veil of a persona, and I have made blatantly racist comments under that persona," she said. The culture
Interesting
of Twitter...
advice by this lawyer, by the way, like to hold a press conference and make a confirmation. Maybe some of the people who working to subvert the Dr. Oz campaign from within are also working on the legal team for this philanthropist.
Well, that's the problem, because we'll get to what the lawyer said later. I mean, we really have to go through this, but the culture of Twitter, this is her, the racist lady saying, the culture of Twitter operates that way. It's part of its charm. I don't want to say charm, but it gives you an opportunity to be someone that you're not in terms of a persona. And for these comments, I'd like to apologize to the African American community. Can I just say, like, there's a sociologist, Dana Boyd, who has a book about, like, say, it's about other things, but includes conversation about like trans youth on Second Life and using like sort of digital spaces to sort of investigate their identities. And to hear that be used by a racist is something else.
So she's literally saying,
no, that's usually No, it's usually the explanation you hear when someone who uses like a furry persona online.
Yes. Right, exactly.
What they give. They're like, this, I can't be this way in real life, so I have this furry persona and it allows me to express myself online, but this lady just has like a fake Black person racist Twitter account where she gets to, I don't know, pretend to be like a
her identity.
Not even,
it's not me.
Not even just like a fake Black person alter ego, but like a sort of late 18th century, style, like aw shucks Aunt Jemima type. It's not just like, it's not like a Rachel Dolezal like pretending to be Black for like political and like personal reasons. This is just like, she's pretty like this is like crypto bros posting L's, like that kind of parody account she thinks this is.
Yeah, and also like the talk about like, oh, that the profile picture for this racist account that is Sam from Alabama, that's explained by we have a piggy bank of that minstrel character in our home. Like that's not making things better. But she says, "I'm not a racist person. I grew up in East Cleveland, very diverse community, and I would challenge you to find anyone in that community that would tell you that I am. Nonetheless, I hold myself accountable. That is the less. I'm ashamed. This wasn't an easy thing to do to get up here and tell you this, like the truth." And just to go a little bit back into the what the defense lawyer said, You will see that this was a political event, said the lawyer Corey Hogan, a partner of the Buffalo law firm Hogan Willig. I'll say that again, the Buffalo law firm Hogan Willig. See the kind of work that they're producing. There's absolutely no racism here. His presentation included a slideshow of the Nicosia's backyard, their kitchen, and some of the paraphernalia at the party, most taken after the fact, which, I mean, you could have taken stuff down. That Hogan said refuted the notion that the fate was racist theme. One image of the invitation, which listed the gathering as the first annual liberal smash and splish splash summer pool party. There was no hint of racism, Hogan said.
It was just lib owning.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. There are over 27,000 franchises of Kentucky Fried Chicken around the world. 4,000 in this country. Is everybody that pulls into a Kentucky Fried Chicken like the Nicosias do probably every couple of weeks, are they a racist? Hennessy Cognac, he added, millions, I think about 70 million bottles sold every year. It has a racial undertone to it. The Nicholases knew nothing about it. It was given away, a small bottle as a prize. No racism. Now this is a problem because if you scroll down a little bit, Bradley, on July 14th, the week after the party, a Twitter account, the Twitter account at homeboy ROC tweeted a doctored image of black women scantily clad in tribal clothing toting buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. A couple weeks later, on July 29th, the account tweeted, so this is what you'd say evidence against the claim that there was no racial connotation.
70,000 worldwide franchises. It's a global restaurant.
Yeah.
I would even say it's not the preferred fried chicken franchise of black people in the South. You know, you're talking about like churches or like, you know, even a Popeyes is better than a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You should have been the defense lawyer, Brandon. You could have done a much better job than this guy. A couple weeks later, on July 29th, the account tweeted a racist Kentucky Fried Chicken parody ad marketing Black Lives Platter. The tagline on the ad was "Get digesting while protesting," and promised the meal to be so good you won't be able to breathe. So this is just Nazi stuff. And there's some more of that.
My God.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just rancid racism here.
Hope they don't have to make her like show her like meme folder, because it's just going to be a lot of these.
That hard drive is just really waiting to be searched right now as
90
part of evidence
terabytes.
in the civil. Yeah. Wow.
Asked how the tweet squared with her serving Kentucky Fried Chicken at a party alleged to have been racist, Zanarsik Nicosia acknowledged the link but suggested it was coincidental. So it seems like there's some things that are still really hard for her to do, and she's actually not ready to do some of those things in terms of telling the truth. I'm aware of the perception of KFC. Was that the reason it was in my home? She said, no, it was an easy meal.
Whose perception? Yours? Your perception?
I'm aware of the perception that I'm using on my sock puppet Twitter account.
They downplayed Juneteenth ephemera. The news conference carried on for 75 minutes, much of it devoted to the couple answering questions from reporters. The couple spoke about their pain of being outcast by their social circles and vilified on social media, and how their family's safety had been threatened. Both of them were nearly moved to tears at different points during the event. Nicosia at times appeared to distance himself from his wife at the party, while maintaining
physically and verbally. It looks like
not mine.
While maintaining
energy is very obvious.
While maintaining that
he's for him to do that a little more aggressively, though, if he wants to save some of his money in the wake of this lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to be on two different tightropes now, and you gotta pick one. He said that he invited no one and acted simply as the host to his wife's guests, whom he called her idiot friends. If I thought I was making fun of something, I mean, I'm not racist. I would have said something. You know, I just thought it was a bunch of Mary's idiot friends. He said before trailing off. Let me just let me see. Let's see. There's some stuff about. Nicosias had long held positions of prominence in Greater Rochester. Their stature bolstered by their involvement with charitable organizations and political causes and high-profile organizations. They raised money for cystic fibrosis. And I'll just say, racists also care about cystic fibrosis because they can get cystic fibrosis. So I'm not impressed. And also, as Emma said earlier, this stuff is all tax deductible.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
And also tickets to getting in the reason people do this is so that they can get in the room with other influential people and make more money. So I am not a philanthropy proponent to the degree that, like, I don't know, they get cachet in the rest of the media.
Yeah. I would imagine he goes on to say that his favorite fried chicken restaurant is Bojangles, and he doesn't even like KFC. Really,
I mean, their biscuits are dry, way more moist at Popeyes. That's actually
I think
true.
this is the right. I think this is the right angle for him. I would also throw her under the bus.
So all those organizations quickly cut ties with the couple after the allegations about the party were made public, ousting them from positions. Many of the politicians made public pronouncements that they would either return or donate financial contributions the couple had made to their campaigns. Nicosia lamented that 2 employees at his dental practice had quit, his patients had fled, and his business's Google rating had fallen.
Not the Google rating.
Hogan, the couple's lawyer, attributed the severed relationships to cancel culture and political correctness. He hinted that his clients would be filing a defamation lawsuit against Jones, the firefighter who publicly cast the party as racist. They had just all dumped them because of how powerful this cancel culture is, Hogan said, of the organizations that shunned the Nicosias. Now they have to decide, do they live in Rochester anymore or do they move? I don't know if he's talking about the organizations. I think he's talking about the couple. Can they redeem their character? That's maybe what the judicial system can do. We shall see. So they're going to try to do it by suing the firefighter, the black firefighter who was forced to go to the racist party. So
we shall see indeed.
Now, I would say, again, I'm not a lawyer, but her lawyer doesn't seem very good. I would not move forward with this defamation lawsuit based on the discovery that will come out.
Would be so bad.
So this is not legal advice, more of like personal advice. This might not be a good move.
Why, don't say that out loud. She definitely should move forward with the defamation case. It's clear that she could be vindicated as long as she just opens up the hard drive of her computer and lets us see, like, what were some of the meme templates that she used? What were some of the drafts that she has in her Twitter account? I would like to know, because I won't rest until this woman's good name is cleared.
Just like a whole folder full of herself in different shades of blackface, ranging from like, Wesley Snipes all the way to, I guess, Sean King.
That's what this account is, though, right? This account is Twitter blackface for this woman.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. They call it blackfishing.
Yeah, I mean it's like there's Twitter blackface where like it's white people that like take a photo of a black person trying to pass as a black. This is like a minstrel.
This is like Twitter minstrel, like a Twitter minstrel show. It's not like really,
crazy.
Yeah. You can't really compare this to like using a picture of like a black person as like using a picture of like Kobe Bryant as your avatar online, because people know who Kobe Bryant is. This is like a whole separate thing. I wouldn't assume this person is even black by these tweets. I would just assume they were a racist,
a Nazi. Yeah.
Go on, Bradley.
No, go ahead.
No, they're just like they're testing the limits of plausible deniability here with like all of these different layers and compounding factors. The party was on Juneteenth. The party included fried chicken. The party, what else? Like had Hennessy at it
as a gift.
The woman has a racist account where
she makes KFC memes.
Yeah, including the chicken and connecting that to the racist memes, and then is just saying like, "Oh no, I just like to eat KFC." There's
huge coincidence.
It
all
could
circumstantial.
Not be, right, I know. I didn't find her with the smoking chicken leg, so
objection. KFC is not admissible in court. You can't have food in the courtroom.
Your Honor, we moved to strike the KFC order from the record.
And you know what the thing is like
Exhibit A, this bucket with her fingerprints on it.
Like the situation, the only solution for them is to say, "Oh yeah, she's racist, and she is realizing that's bad now." But they can't like right, like, but we can't get that. So it has to be like all this stuff, like, "Oh, it's a coincidence that there's KFC there," but also I will admit to having a different persona that I'm exploring identity with, and that identity just happens to be like a 1870s style racist.
I think just people don't necessarily, because being online, it's easy to confuse yourself about this, that like being this kind of racist in person is not attractive. People do not like it, and they will ostracize you for being it. And like getting yourself all hopped up on like online cancel culture arguments when you have to live in the real world where people are going to look at you like, "Oh, that's the chick who had like the blackface Juneteenth party." It's like, you can scream about free speech in real life and cancel culture all you want, but people don't like believe that stuff. Like, that's like an online thing that Crowder says to avoid getting like removed from YouTube. It's not like a thing that your friends are or not your friends, like your neighbors are gonna take seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Her idiot friends, to borrow
her
from
idiot
her
friends.
Her own husband's characterization. Right.
Well, because that is true. Because both political correctness and cancel culture are sort of like media critiques to explain away sort of reactions to reactionaries.
You know, there's very specific anxieties of a social class of like public intellectuals, quote unquote, and scare quotes, definitely public intellectuals and like people who have public facing accounts about the consequences, the informal consequences for being shitty.
Well,
Right.
they get off on it too. Like, I feel like she just gets off on the fact that she has this secret account where she can say and act in any way that she wants, and then go in public and be good. And then it extended to the party. And then it's just like the line is too blurred and you get caught. Sorry. I can't believe it's so cowardly then to fall back on denying any of the connections and having the rest of us have to be like incredibly stupid to buy it too.
Yeah.
I like that at least she admitted to the account. You know, most people wouldn't do that because it obviously hurts their case. And so I would have understood if she lied about it. But I guess, you know, more power to you for telling the truth. Like,
I was, in fact, at Ho Ho Homeboy ROC.
Yeah, that's what we call a limited hangout, folks. Like, but I will not admit, that we had the Hennessy and the KFC, even though the account that I'm admitting to was specifically doing KFC racist memes. It's just a coincidence. It was an easy meal, okay?
I'm a Kennedy Fried Chicken person myself.
Fast food. I mean, you just can't beat the convenience.
I mean, there are 27,000 locations. It's like, well,
you're the racist for insinuating that only black people can eat fried chicken, my friend.
Come on.
You know,
In fact, you're reverse racist because you're saying only black people can have fried chicken, and you're discriminating against me.
That 2-piece and a biscuit is not whites only. It's for the people.
Also, I like the thing. Like, I grew up in East Cleveland. Go ask, very diverse. Go ask any of those folks if I was racist. Like, go ask any of those folks if those pictures of KFC that you posted to Twitter, like that's the information that they need to make a full assessment of whether or not you're racist. Not like you growing up and like, I guess, not having the internet persona to express it.
You can't be racist and be from Cleveland because everyone loves LeBron James there. So, like, again, quid pro quo or quote erat demonstratum. I don't know.
Yeah, well, argument won, gavel dropped.
Game over.
Brandon, you really should have been the defense attorney here.
I think that I could have been a good lawyer. I don't have a good attention span, but, you know, like being right.
I don't know if this one does either, so I feel like that's not disqualifying.
I mean, I'm really hoping that this is some sort of like inside job.
A lot of bad lawyers on the right recently. A lot of not great lawyers going out there. They must all go to Rudy Giuliani School of Defense.